Along the east coast of South America, from the humid tropical regions in northeastern Brazil to the temperate latitudes in the south of the continent, stretches one of the planet's oldest, most complex and life-rich forest systems. This forest does not exist as a unified block, but presents itself as a series of interwoven landscapes, shaped by rugged terrain, high humidity, and millions of years of ecological evolution. Welcome to the Atlantic Forest, where life follows invisible rules. If you find the video interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe so we have more motivation to create higher quality content. And in your opinion, which wild animal is the most special in your country? Comment below and let's discuss together. Let's get started. Here, life is not organized in simple orders. Every forest stratum maintains precise relationships between animals and plants, intertwining into a dense, ancient, and closely interdependent biological network. From the humid ground where large mammals leave their tracks in the mud, to the high canopies where primates and birds dominate the three-dimensional space, every level assumes a distinct role. No species exists independently. Survival depends on continuous adaptability, efficient use of space, and maintaining a state of equilibrium that is reset every day. This coastal forest system is considered one of the most important biodiversity hotspots in the Southern Hemisphere. In a small area, more than 20,000 plant species have been recorded, along with thousands of vertebrate species and countless invertebrates, most of which have yet to be fully described by science. The rate of endemism here is among the highest in the world, with many species existing only in extremely narrow ranges and unable to be found anywhere else. This is the place of survival for primates that dominate the canopy, large mammals that move silently along river corridors, herds of ground animals that create a continuous rhythm of movement, and birds that connect land, water, and space with short but persistent flight paths. Every species occupies a very small part of the environment, but together they form a precise operating system where the absence of one link can change the entire remaining structure. This space does not exist as a homogeneous block. Patches of dense jungle, sparse forest, seasonal forest, riparian forest, and mangroves intertwine, creating countless different micro-environments. Through a long evolutionary period, this diversity and natural fragmentation have driven a process of high specialization. Many species can only exist in very specific conditions, closely linked to canopy height, vegetation structure, and the presence of other surrounding species. In this environment, abundance does not mean ease. Light, food, and shelter are always contested. To survive, animals develop sophisticated strategies: agile movement in three-dimensional space, communication by sound through the dense jungle, tight collective life organization and high-precision use of territory. Every observed behavior is a direct reaction to the limits imposed by the environment. This is not just a refuge for species. It is a living system, continuously self-regulating. A falling tree opens a new clearing. An organism transports seeds across the canopy border. A sound resonating in the valley can shape how space is used for many days. Every movement, no matter how small, leaves a trace. This is an ancient, dense, and highly specialized territory, where evolutionary history is still present in every detail. A place where life exists not by excess, but by precision. Along the east coast of South America, a strip of ancient forest stretches from the tropical regions of the north to the temperate latitudes in the south of the continent. In this spatial axis of thousands of kilometers, life changes with every step. In the low areas near the sea, waterbirds forage in swamps and estuaries, while deeper inland, troops of capuchin monkeys move agilely in the mid-canopy, following familiar arboreal routes memorized through generations. The total original area of this ecosystem is estimated at approximately 1,300,000 square kilometers, forming one of the largest coastal forest belts that ever existed. In Brazilian territory, the forest layer extends almost continuously from the northeast to the far south of the country, before expanding inland across coastal mountain ranges, plateaus, and deep valley systems. These natural corridors are where the South American tapir moves silently along watercourses, leaving large footprints in the damp mud connecting distant forest patches. The geographical space is organized in clear strata. Coastal mountain ranges like the Serra do Mar and the Serra da Mantiqueira raise natural walls, elevating the forest from sea level to almost 2,900 meters at the highest peaks. On the steep slopes, mist slowly glides through the canopy, covering the cloud forests where small birds and insects continuously operate in the diffuse light. Further down, narrow valleys and deep streams form cool, humid corridors, where peccaries move in herds, overturning the layer of fallen leaves in search of food. In the lower, flatter regions, the landscape opens into alluvial plains, seasonal wetlands, and coastal ecosystems. Here, movement becomes clearer. Waterbirds congregate according to the tide, while semi-aquatic mammals appear along riverbanks at dusk. These areas are also where the jaguar frequently patrols, taking advantage of the water's edge to access prey and move silently through its vast territory. The distribution range of this forest system is not limited only to Brazil. It also extends into eastern Paraguay and the northeastern region of Argentina, maintaining biological continuity on a regional scale. In that strip of territory, states like Bahia, Espírito Santo, Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo, Paraná, and Santa Catarina concentrate many of the remnant forests with a complex structure, where animals must adapt to the rapid change between dense jungle, mountain slopes, and adjacent open spaces. The climate here is strongly influenced by the ocean. The average annual temperature ranges between approximately 14 degrees Celsius in the highlands and nearly 28 degrees Celsius in the low coastal areas. In just a few kilometers, the change in altitude can create clear differences in temperature, humidity, and wind. This forces primates, ungulates, and predators to adjust their activity times, choose shelters, and even change their movement routes according to each elevation. High precipitation and relatively uniform distribution throughout the year are key factors in sustaining life. In many slope and coastal areas, annual precipitation exceeds 2,000 millimeters. Ocean moisture is blocked by the mountain ranges, condenses and falls as heavy rain, fog and drizzle. This continuous water flow nurtures the jungle, keeps rivers from drying up, creating conditions for water-dependent species to maintain their activities year-round. In the highlands, low clouds frequently cover the canopy, creating the characteristic cloud forests. The dim light and near-saturated humidity cause vegetation to grow slowly but densely. In this space, animal movement is often slower and more discreet, relying more on sound and smell than on sight. Against that backdrop of diverse climate and terrain, vegetation has developed in many different forms, from perennial rainforest to seasonal forest, riparian forest, restinga forest, and mangroves. Large trees, lianas, ferns, orchids, and bromeliads occupy every spatial stratum, creating a continuous green labyrinth where every animal species must find its own way to survive. All these factors impose strict limits on the fauna. The search for food, shelter, and movement depends on the ability to read the environment precisely and utilize territory efficiently. Here, geography and climate do not just create the backdrop, but directly guide all of life's survival strategies. Between the continuous canopies and closed valleys of the Mata Atlântica, deep, resonant, prolonged sounds propagate through the humid space. It is not the sound of the wind or distant thunder, but the signal of a primate species that has transformed sound into a survival tool. In the high stratum of the forest, the howler monkey maintains its dominance through screaming, controlling space without the need for direct presence. In the Mata Atlântica, 3 species of howler monkey share the forest canopy, each occupying different territorial ranges and exploiting resources in distinct ways. Their distribution range extends from the south of Bahia State to northern Argentina, always closely tied to Mata Atlantica, patches that are large and continuous enough. The red howler monkey appears mainly in the south and southeast of Brazil, in dense rainforests and mountainous areas from approximately 200 up to 1,200 meters in altitude. The black howler monkey predominates in more open inland areas and transition zones, including seasonal forests and riparian forests. Meanwhile, the brown howler monkey is concentrated in the northeast, existing in humid forest patches at low and medium altitudes. These species are medium-sized, with a mass of 4 to 9 kilograms, exhibiting moderate sexual dimorphism. Their bodies are robust, suitable for slow but stable movement on thick, high branches. The most important feature is the prehensile tail, strong enough to support the entire body weight. Thanks to this, the howler monkey can safely hang while foraging in the highest canopy positions, where tender leaves, soft shoots, and seasonal fruits form its main food source. The leaf-based diet requires a special digestive system. The digestion process is slow, based on fermentation mechanisms, forcing the howler monkey to spend most of the day resting. These long pauses in the canopy are not a sign of laziness, but a biological strategy to conserve energy in an environment where nutrient-rich foods are not always available. Howler monkey groups typically consist of 5 to 12 individuals, organized in a stable social structure. In the dense forest space and complex terrain, direct communication is not always effective. Instead, sound becomes the central tool. The deep screams, amplified by a special throat structure, can resonate for several kilometers through the dense forest. These calls mark territory, maintain distance between groups, and coordinate social activities without the need for direct confrontation. This strategy is particularly effective in environments with limited visibility. Instead of expending energy on conflict, howler monkey groups use sound to negotiate space. This allows for optimizing territory use, a key factor in forests with complex canopy structures and unevenly distributed resources. Life in the high forest canopy poses many challenges. Strong winds, heavy rains, and temperature changes directly affect movement ability and food access. Unstable branches require careful selection of roots and coordination among group individuals. At the same time, long-term life in the canopy also increases the need for vigilance against aerial threats, making collective observation an indispensable factor. Although distributed in different areas, The three howler monkey species play similar roles in forest dynamics. By consuming large volumes of leaves and fruits, they directly influence plant regeneration and canopy structure. Prolonged use of certain areas creates clear spatial patterns, gradually shaping the biological landscape over time. In the Mata Atlantica, the howler monkey is not just an arboreal primate. It is the voice of the forest, the deep rhythm that helps organize space and maintain order in a dense ecosystem, where sound is sometimes more important than image. Bioacoustic studies have shown that the howler monkey's hyoid apparatus is one of the most specialized among primates. This enlarged bony structure functions as a natural resonating chamber, allowing it to produce low-frequency sounds that travel farther and consume less energy than a direct physical confrontation. From an evolutionary perspective, the howler monkey's scream is not just a signal of presence, but an adaptation that reduces the risk of injury, limits conflict, and maximizes group survival in a closed three-dimensional environment. Sound, in this case, becomes an extension of the body. When you hear these deep calls resonating through the forest, have you wondered how much information can be transmitted without a single image? How many species, even today, rely more on sound than sight to survive? And if the forest loses its voice, what happens to the balance we never got to see? This primate relies almost entirely on continuous forest patches at low altitudes, often below 300 meters, where high humidity and forest structure are dense enough to provide shelter, food, and the natural tree cavities needed for reproduction. With a mass of only about 600 grams, the golden lion tamarin has a small, light body with long, agile limbs, suitable for moving quickly on thin branches and vines. The bright orange-yellow fur surrounding the head like a mane makes this species stand out against the green forest backdrop. However, this very feature also increases the risk of being detected, forcing them to rely on agility and an extremely precise ability to read three-dimensional space. Activity mainly takes place in the mid-stratum of the forest, at a height of 5 to 15 meters, where insect density is high and small fruit tree species thrive. The diverse diet includes insects, spiders, fruits, nectar, and sometimes very small vertebrates. A characteristic behavior of the species is the probing of crevices in tree trunks and hollow branches. Long, nimble fingers are used to pry, flip, and capture prey hidden deep within rotten wood, a strategy that requires time, spatial memory, and coordination among individuals. The golden lion. Tamarin's lifestyle is highly social. Groups are usually small, 4 to 8 individuals, with tight bonds and a clear division of roles. Cooperation in foraging, vigilance, and caring for the young is a vital factor in an environment where safe space is increasingly shrinking. This social structure is also observed in the golden-faced lion tamarin, a related species that is distributed further north, indicating a common adaptation pattern to the coastal jungle. Reproduction is slow and requires stable environmental conditions. Old trees with natural cavities play an essential role, used as nightly resting places and young care areas. The scarcity of these structures makes the species particularly sensitive to small changes in forest structure. In the past, forest loss and wildlife trafficking pushed the golden lion tamarin population to alarming levels. At one point, the number of wild individuals recorded was fewer than 300. Today, the species' existence reflects the fragile yet still recoverable state of the Mata Atlantica. Every group of golden lion tamarins that survives is a testament to the importance of continuous forest patches, where spatial structure, humidity, and biological diversity are still sufficient to sustain sophisticated survival strategies. In the broader panorama of the Mata Atlantica, this small primate represents the value of every square meter of remnant forest, where flexibility is not enough to compensate for habitat loss. Moving away from the coastal forest patches and venturing deeper into the interior of the Mata Atlantica, the forest's rhythm of life begins to change. Sound calms. Movement becomes more dispersed. On the thick tree trunks and lower canopies, another life form emerges, almost separate from the hurried rhythm of the surrounding environment. The three-toed sloth exists in the Mata Atlantica as a testament to a completely different survival strategy: slowing down to survive. In continuous humid forests, where the canopy is closely connected and the spatial structure is stable, the three-toed sloth occupies one of the most specialized ecological niches in America. Belonging to the genus Bradypus, this mammal is widely distributed from Central to South America, but is always intimately associated with humid rainforests at low and medium altitudes, where dense vegetation ensures a stable food source and safe gripping points. With a body mass ranging from 3.5 to 7 kilograms, the three-toed sloth has a compact body but supported by long limbs and strong curved claws. Three toes on the front and hind feet allow them to hang firmly for long periods without using much muscle strength. The entire body structure is optimized for gripping and suspension rather than fast movement. Every movement is slow, controlled, minimizing energy expenditure in an environment where food is not nutrient-rich. The diet is based almost entirely on leaves, especially the leaves of the Cecropia tree, a food source with low energy value and difficult to digest. To adapt, the three-toed sloth has developed an extremely slow and specialized digestive system. The process of breaking down a meal can last weeks, thanks to a complex gut microbiota. The consequence is that the species' metabolic rate is one of the lowest among mammals, forcing them to spend 15 to 18 hours a day resting. The rough fur of the three-toed sloth does not just have a protective function. On the fur's surface, there are small microfissures, which create conditions for algae, fungi, and other microorganisms to live. This layer of algae gives the fur a light green tint, helping the sloth blend with the forest canopy and reducing the chance of being detected. At the same time, this microbiota also contributes to the forest's nutrient cycle, turning the sloth's body into a mobile ecosystem, directly connected to the biological dynamics of the Mata Atlantica. The three-toed sloth's behavior is primarily solitary and entirely arboreal. Descending to the ground is rare and only occurs on average once every 7 to 10 days, when the individual needs to defecate. This moment is the most dangerous in its life cycle. Leaving the canopy forces the sloth to carefully choose the location and timing, as on the ground it loses the biological advantage built up over millions of years of evolution. The presence of the three-toed sloth reflects the stable state of the forest. They only exist in areas with continuous canopy structures, high humidity, and little disturbance. When these conditions break, the life strategy based on slowness ceases to be effective. Therefore, every sloth in the Mata Atlantica is a biological indicator of environmental quality and ecosystem integrity. In the Mata Atlantica, the three-toed sloth does not compete with speed or force. It exists by simplifying everything: movement, energy, and even presence. It is a silent strategy, but it can only succeed in a forest stable enough to allow slowness to become an advantage. Moving away from the high canopies and descending to the lower stratum of the Mata Atlantica, the space becomes denser, more humid, and more complex. Here, light filters through multiple layers of leaves. The ground is covered with leaf litter, tree roots protrude, and fallen logs form a natural maze. In this constantly changing environment, the ringtail coati emerges as a dynamic, curious, and highly adaptable organism, controlling the rhythm of forest floor life with a rarely seen social flexibility. The coati is a medium-sized mammal with a body length of 40 to 65 centimeters, not including the long ringed tail, which often exceeds body length. This tail is often held erect when moving, acting as a visual signal that helps individuals in the group stay in contact in the dense vegetation. The slender body, strong legs, and sharp claws allow the coati to move efficiently both on the ground and on low tree trunks and inclined branches. The coati's habitat ranges from dense rainforests, seasonal forests to forest edge areas, and riparian corridors. The ability to occupy many types of environments reflects a high level of flexibility in behavior and physiology. Most of the time, the coati is active on the ground, but it is not uncommon for it to climb trees to forage, avoid danger, or access seasonal resources. The coati's diet is clearly opportunistic. Fruits, hard seeds, insects, spiders, larvae, small vertebrates, and even eggs can become food. The long, flexible snout allows them to flip leaf litter, dig into soft soil, and probe rotten wood for hidden prey. This continuous foraging activity stirs the superficial soil layer, redistributes organic matter, and contributes to the forest's natural decomposition process. Social life is one of the coati's most notable features. Adult females and juveniles often group into large bands, which can consist of 10 to over 30 individuals, moving and foraging together. This cohesion helps increase efficiency in food detection, reduces the risk of predation, and maintains group stability in an environment with limited visibility. Adult males, conversely, are usually solitary and only approach the bands during certain phases of the reproductive cycle. Communication within the band occurs through a combination of body postures, tail movements, direct contact, and short sounds, appropriate for the dense forest environment where loud sounds are easily dispersed. Coati bands move in characteristic rhythms, with multiple short stops, sudden changes of direction, and temporary dispersion before regrouping, which requires a high capacity for coordination and spatial awareness. The forest floor of the Mata Atlantica poses many challenges. Uneven terrain, exposed tree roots, rotten wood, and constant moisture change after rain force the coati to flexibly adjust its posture and speed. Heavy rains change the soil structure, but also open new opportunities as insects and small animals become more exposed. By consuming fruits and moving across long distances each day, the coati contributes to seed dispersal to different areas of the forest. The combination of ground activity and climbing ability helps them connect ecological strata, from the leaf litter to the low canopies, creating continuous biological flows. In the Mata Atlantica, the coati does not dominate by force or size. Its value lies in flexibility, sociability, and the ability to utilize every opportunity the environment offers. Through its incessant movement, the coati contributes to maintaining the vitality of the forest floor, where each layer of leaf flipped opens a new cycle of life. As light fades beneath the dense canopy and moisture rises from the ground, heavy but rhythmic movements begin to appear along natural trails. Between the darkness and the dense leaf litter, the South American tapir, Tapirus terrestris, silently advances toward the water, carrying with it an ecological role that surpasses the size of its massive body. The tapir is the largest land mammal in South America, with a body length that can exceed 2 meters and a mass ranging from 180 to over 300 kilograms. Its body is robust, its legs are short but strong, allowing it to move stably on soft soil, swamps, and the rough terrain of the humid forest. Its long, flexible snout, like a small trunk, acts as a multi-tool, helping the tapir pluck leaves, pull down low branches, collect fallen fruits, and probe the surrounding environment. Primarily active at dusk and at night, the tapir avoids the hottest hours of the day, reducing energy expenditure and limiting contact with humans. It uses fixed routes, forming clear trails through the jungle, connecting resting areas, feeding grounds, and water sources. These paths not only serve the tapir, but also become movement corridors for many other animal species. The tapir's diet is very diverse, including tender leaves, shoots, soft branches, and especially seasonal fruits. In one night, an individual can consume tens of kilograms of plant matter. Seeds pass through the tapir's large, slow digestive system almost undamaged, and are then excreted in locations far from the mother tree, often accompanied by a layer of nutrient-rich dung. Thus, the tapir plays a key role in seed dispersal and forest regeneration, especially for large seeded tree species that few other animals can process. Near the water, the tapir exhibits another ability that makes it special. Despite its heavy body, this species is an expert swimmer. They frequently enter rivers, streams, and swamps to cool their bodies, avoid insects, and forage for aquatic plants. Scenes of tapirs wading, submerging, or simply exposing their nose above the water surface are familiar sights in South American nature documentaries. The tapir's lifestyle is highly solitary. Adult individuals rarely travel together except during the reproductive phase or when the female is raising a calf. The reproductive cycle is slow. The gestation period lasts over 13 months, and only one calf is generally born at a time. The young tapir has dark brown fur with white spots and stripes, which helps it camouflage effectively in the dappled light of the jungle. It takes many months, sometimes over a year, for the young one to be capable enough to keep up with its mother's movement pace. Precisely, this slow reproductive rhythm makes the tapir particularly vulnerable to forest loss, hunting, and habitat fragmentation. When forest patches shrink, traditional movement routes are broken, and the tapir is forced to cross open areas, which increases the risk of conflict and death. In many regions, the disappearance of the tapir entails a clear decline in tree species that depend on it for seed dispersal. However, in areas well protected and where forest restoration projects are reconnecting habitats. The tapir has begun to return. New digging traces, reused trails, and videos recording the tapir swimming across rivers are evidence that the forest still has the capacity to recover when given the opportunity. The South American tapir does not hunt, does not dominate by force or speed. Its value lies in endurance. Every slow step, every foraging in the darkness contributes to maintaining the forest's structure and future. In this wild world, the tapir is the silent gardener, patiently sowing the seed of life that it may never fully see. When the tapir's large footprints fade near the water, movement in the forest does not disappear. Higher up, between the mid-strata of the canopy, where light filters through patches of leaves, a fast and active rhythm of life begins to occupy the space. Small bodies, constantly changing direction and carefully observing, move on the branches. The capuchin monkey appears, carrying with it the shrewdness of a species that has learned to live by intelligence. The capuchin is one of the most intelligent primates in America. The adult body measures approximately 35 to 45 centimeters long, not including the tail, with an average mass of 2 to 5 kilograms. The tail, almost as long as the body, helps maintain balance when moving across narrow branches. Its agile hands with opposable thumbs allow them to grip, turn, and manipulate objects with precision, a rare characteristic in the wild world. Activity mainly occurs during the day. Capuchins spend most of their time moving, foraging, and socially interacting. The activity range of a group can vary from 80 to over 300 hectares, depending on food abundance and forest structure. This space is memorized in detail, with familiar routes connecting resting, feeding, and water source areas. The capuchin's diet is very wide. Fruits account for a large proportion, complemented by hard seeds, insects, spiders, bird eggs, lizards, and small vertebrates. When encountering a difficult-to-access food source, capuchins use tools. Many populations have been recorded using stones as hammers to crack hard nuts, a behavior that requires precise force, proper material selection, and the ability to intentionally repeat. These abilities are not innate, but are learned gradually through observation and practice. The capuchin's social life is very complex. Groups usually consist of 10 to over 30 individuals with a clear hierarchical structure. Adult males often hold the dominant position, while females maintain stable social relationships for life. Coordination within the group is evident in foraging activities, vigilance, and caring for the young. Upon detecting a threat, warning signals quickly spread, allowing the entire group to react in time. Reproduction is slow. Gestation lasts about 160 days, and generally only one young is born at a time. The young clings to the mother's back for the first few months and relies on the group for a long period. Maturity is reached after about 4 to 5 years. In natural conditions, the capuchin can live for 20 to over 25 years, a high figure compared to its body size. In forests that are still sufficiently connected, the capuchin moves continuously between tree strata and rarely descends to the ground. In places where the forest is fragmented, they are forced to expand their behavior, utilizing forest edges and narrow corridors. This flexibility helps the capuchin survive better than many other primates, but also exposes them to more frequent contact with humans and new dangers. Through swift jumps, instantaneous decisions, and incessant learning ability, the capuchin maintains its position in the forest. They do not dominate by force, but by memory, observation, and adaptability. In a constantly changing environment, that is the greatest advantage for long-term survival. When peccary bands move through the leaf litter, leaving quick sounds and a characteristic scent, the forest does not just listen. In the nearby darkness, another presence is watching. The peccary, Taiasu, advances not in a straight line, but like a wave, cohesive and determined. It is a group of medium-sized ungulates with a robust body, large head, and thick neck. In this area, common species have a body length of approximately 90 to 120 centimeters, weighing 20 to over 40 kilograms. Their strong jaws with sharp tusks allow them to process many types of hard food. The rough coat and strongly developed scent glands create a distinctive recognition signal, helping individuals maintain contact in the jungle where visibility is limited. Primarily active during the day, the peccary moves in large bands. Band size varies depending on the species and environmental conditions, often 10 to 30 individuals, with records in some places of bands exceeding 50. This cohesion not only helps find food more efficiently, but also creates a collective defense mechanism. When threatened, the entire band can turn at once, emitting warning sounds and approaching the intruder with their numbers. The peccary's diet is diverse and changes with the seasons. Fallen fruits, hard seeds, roots, tubers, fungi, insects, and even carrion are exploited. The strong snout and frequent digging behavior overturn the superficial soil layer, opening small clearings in the leaf litter. Over time, these areas become germination points for many tree species, contributing to the dynamics of the forest floor. Peccary bands utilize vast territories, with an activity range that can reach hundreds of hectares, depending on the food source and forest connectivity level. Familiar routes are formed through generations, connecting resting, feeding, and water source areas. Collective spatial memory helps the band move efficiently in a complex and ever-changing environment. Reproduction occurs year-round, but often increases during periods of food abundance. Gestation lasts approximately 140 to 160 days. Generally, 1 to 2 young are born at a time. The young is capable of following the band shortly after birth, quickly integrating into the collective movement rhythm. Collective protection aids a higher survival rate compared to many solitary mammals. The peccary plays a key role in the predation network. It is an important prey for large and medium felines. The stable presence of the peccary is often accompanied by the presence of predators, creating a continuous chain of interaction between the ground and high strata of the ecosystem. When the peccary disappears, this structure quickly loses its balance. In fragmented forests, peccary bands face more risks. Collective movement through open spaces increases the risk of conflict and hunting. However, in well-protected areas and where biological corridors are restored, the bands have begun to return. New digging traces, reused trails, and videos recording the band moving during the day show that the forest floor is gradually regaining its original rhythm. The peccary does not stand out for speed or dexterity. It exists thanks to pack discipline and the ability to utilize all available resources. Every collective step is not only a foraging journey, but also the force that keeps the forest floor running, where life is sustained by incessant movement. When peccary bands move through the leaf litter, leaving quick sounds and a characteristic scent, the forest not only listens. In the nearby darkness, another presence is watching. Without haste, without revealing traces, the jaguar enters its territory with the absolute confidence of the predator in the highest position. The jaguar is the largest feline in America. An individual adult can measure more than 2 meters long, including the tail, with a mass ranging from 60 to over 100 kilograms, with some exceptional individuals exceeding this figure. Its muscular body, broad shoulders, and extremely strong jaw allow it to tackle large prey that many other predators must avoid. The rosette patterns on its coat are not just aesthetic, but also help break up the body shape in the jungle's dappled light. The Cerrado is not a dense rainforest like the Amazon, and the jaguar adjusts its strategy accordingly. Instead of chasing prey in the open space, it utilizes river edges, swamps, and tree corridors as natural access routes. There, dense vegetation hides movement, and water erases tracks and sounds. The jaguar does not hunt with endurance. It hunts with patience, choosing the right moment when distance, attack angle, and the surprise factor reach perfection. The capybara, with its stable movement habits and reliance on familiar water access points, becomes one of the key prey in the riparian hunting system. But the jaguar does not limit its choice. From large rodents, deer, armadillos to fish and large reptiles, its diet reflects the flexibility of a dominant predator in an environment that fluctuates with the seasons. Water is not a barrier. On the contrary, the jaguar is an expert swimmer, willing to launch into the river to pursue or ambush prey from beneath the water surface. Activity mainly occurs at dusk and at night, when the temperature drops and the sounds of the cerrado become quieter. During these periods, every movement is carefully calculated. Each individual maintains a vast territory marked with scent and claw tracks, which limits direct conflict with other individuals. Territorial overlap is rare and generally short-lived. The jaguar's reproductive cycle is slow and discreet. The female chooses dense areas far from disturbance to give birth. The young are nursed for many months, learning to move, hide and hunt through observation and experience. Every lesson is vital, as the cerrado does not forgive mistakes. The jaguar's presence silently molds the entire ecosystem. Large herbivores are forced to adjust their movement routes and activity times, avoiding high-risk areas. This predatory pressure extends through many biological strata, affecting vegetation, riverbank structure, and the dynamics of seasonal wetland ecosystems. Without needing to appear frequently, the jaguar still maintains order only with its potential presence. In the cerrado, the jaguar is not just a predator. It is the final boundary between ecological stability and chaos. When this species exists, the system operates with an invisible discipline. When it disappears, the relationships finally adjusted during thousands of years begin to unravel. Between land and water, between prey and predator, the jaguar maintains a central position, like a silent heartbeat of the cerrado. Today, the jaguar is identified by biologists and international conservation organizations as a symbolic species and an ecological indicator species of South America's rainforest and savanna ecosystems, including the cerrado. According to the scientific approach, the jaguar's presence directly reflects the level of habitat integrity, especially the continuity of gallery forest corridors and the stability of the prey population. According to international conservation data compilations, the total number of jaguars currently existing in the wild is estimated at around 173,000 individuals, with a continuous decline trend. The historical distribution range of this species has shrunk by more than 50% compared to before the 20th century, mainly due to habitat loss and fragmentation of the landscape. In the Cerrado, this situation is particularly evident. Ecological studies show that more than half of the original Cerrado area has been converted into agricultural and grazing land, breaking the biological corridors that the jaguar relies on to hunt, move, and maintain its territory. This fragmentation isolates jaguar populations, reducing genetic diversity and increasing the risk of long-term decline. In addition to habitat loss, the decline of natural prey species is also identified as a major factor. When capybara, deer, and small ungulate populations decline due to hunting and habitat alteration, the jaguar is forced to expand its hunting range and increase the frequency of approaching human-populated areas, which increases conflict and the risk of being removed by retaliation. According to current conservation assessments, the jaguar is classified as nearly threatened. This reflects the fact that, although the species is not on the brink of extinction, it is approaching critical criteria if the trend of habitat loss, wildfires, and prey decline continues. From an ecological perspective, the jaguar's decline does not only mean the loss of a great feline. Many studies indicate that when jaguar density falls below a certain threshold, the biological control effect in the ecosystem weakens, leading to an uncontrolled increase in prey species, changes in vegetation structure, and degradation of riparian ecosystems. Therefore, jaguar conservation is not only about protecting a symbolic South American species, but also about protecting the core ecological structure and function of the Cerrado, where this species plays a central role in maintaining long-term biological stability. As the terrain descends and water begins to dominate, the landscape changes notably. Watercourses widen, soft mud is exposed to the rhythm of the tide, and salinity-adapted vegetation forms another world. On that border between land and water, a bright red color appears, easily recognizable even from a distance. The scarlet ibis enters the scene as a vivid sign of life-rich wetlands. This bird is closely tied to mangroves, estuaries, and coastal marshes, where the continuous ebb and flow of the tide brings abundant food. Its body measures 55 to over 60 centimeters long, with thin neck and legs, allowing it to move efficiently in shallow water and unstable mud. The bright red plumage stands out, completely contrasting with the surrounding environment, while dark wingtips are clear when flying. The long, thin, downward curving beak is the main tool for foraging. It is used to probe the soft mud, searching for crustaceans, insects, mollusks, and small fish hidden beneath the It is the pigments present in the prey, especially carotenoids, that create the species' characteristic red color, reflecting a direct link between diet and morphology. The scarlet ibis lives in large flocks, moving and foraging together. When flying, flocks often form extended formations, which reduces energy expenditure and maintains cohesion. The rhythm of life of this species closely depends on the water level. When the tide is low, marshes become ideal places for foraging. When the water rises, they retreat to safer resting and nesting areas. Far from the salty waters, as the terrain gradually rises and vegetation becomes more diverse, the airspace begins to fill with swift and continuous movements. Between blooming canopies and natural clearings, small but energetic birds dominate the atmosphere. Tanagers and hummingbirds become the main characters of this spatial stratum. The tanager, with a size of only about 10 centimeters, appears between the mid-canopy and the forest edge. Its compact body, short beak, and agile movement allow them to exploit small fruits and insects living among the tender leaves. They often move in mixed flocks, along with many other frugivorous birds, continuously gliding through the canopies to find scattered food sources. Each stop lasts only a few seconds, just enough to pick a fruit or prey before continuing to move. The hummingbird operates on another level. With an extremely small body but strong developed pectoral muscles, they have the ability to hover in the air in front of flowers, a rare skill in the bird world. Their wings beat at high frequency, which allows them to access nectar hidden deep inside tubular flowers, where few other species can exploit. Short, repetitive flight paths between familiar flower clusters are maintained and fiercely protected, ensuring a stable energy source. While the tanager plays an important role in the dispersal of seeds from small fruiting tree species, the hummingbird connects plant populations through the pollination process. Every visit to a flower, pollen adheres to its beak and head, transferring to other flowers over longer distances. These small movements maintain the diversity and regeneration capacity of the vegetation. From the riparian mud to the bright blooming canopies, these bird species expand the habitable space horizontally and vertically, connecting seemingly separate environments. Their presence brings a continuous rhythm to the forest, where every wing beat contributes to maintaining the flow of life. However, the natural rhythm of the Mata Atlantica no longer operates in isolation. In recent decades, the rapid changes in the global climate have begun to leave a clear footprint. Average temperatures have increased, heavy rains have become more erratic, while prolonged dry periods appear in places that were once always humid. This imbalance directly affects forest structure, reproductive cycles, and the survival capacity of many specialized species. Wildfires, once rare in humid coastal forests, now occur more frequently in extreme drought years. fire spreads quickly through fragmented forest patches, where strong winds and dry vegetation create conditions for fire to get out of control. Every fire not only burns trees, but also breaks forest strata, destroying essential shelters, food sources, and movement corridors for wildlife. Parallel to this, forest logging in the past has left large gaps in the landscape. More than 80% of the Mata Atlantica's original area has been converted to agriculture, urbanization, and infrastructure. The remnant forest patches are often isolated, making animal populations small, susceptible to decline, and difficult to recover. Many species of primates, herbivores, and forest birds have disappeared completely from large areas in only a few generations. But the story of this forest is not only loss. In recent decades, a large-scale conservation from the high canopies, where the deep scream of the howler monkey resonates through the valley, to the soft mud, where the wings of red birds are reflected on the water surface, the Mata Atlantica is revealed as a living system operated by its own rhythm. Here, no movement is superfluous. Every step, every call, every forage is closely tied to the existence of other organisms. High up, howler monkey groups dominate space through sound, molding territory without the need for visual contact. In narrower forest patches, the golden lion tamarin moves quickly and precisely between thin branches, utilizing every remnant tree cavity for survival. Slower, the three-toed sloth hangs motionless for hours in the foliage, converting patience into a biological advantage. On the ground, coati bands dig, forage, and move incessantly, keeping the lower stratum of the forest alive. And in the air, birds connect water, trees, and flowers with short but continuous flight paths, maintaining the flow of life from the coastal mud to the sun-drenched canopies. All these fragments coexist in one of the planet's most life-rich forests. The Mata Atlantica originally stretched over 1,300,000 square kilometers along the east coast of South America. Today, only about 12 to 15% of the original area remains relatively intact. However, in that small portion, there are still more than 20,000 plant species, hundreds of mammal species, nearly 1,000 bird species, and countless other organisms, many of which can only be found here and nowhere else on Earth. Every remnant forest patch is a storehouse of life. They retain water for coastal rivers, slow down floods, anchor soil on steep slopes, and store large amounts of carbon in tree trunks, roots, and forest soil. The existence of this forest directly affects the regional climate and the lives of tens of millions of people who live around it. The Mata Atlantica does not boast of its strength. It exists through balance. When one species disappears, the rhythm changes. When bonds break, the consequences extend far beyond the forest boundaries. This is an ancient ecosystem, rich in life but fragile, where every loss leaves a lasting footprint. The journey of discovery through the Mata Atlantica stops here, as the forest's rhythm of life gradually returns to its original silence. But the natural world does not stop moving. There are still deep oceans that have not been fully seen, icy lands where life is pushed to the final limit, and vast savannas where every day is a test of survival. Every region is a different story, written by the climate, terrain, and unique organism species. When one journey concludes, others begin. And we will continue our path, bringing you those stories. If this journey left you with a moment of reflection, stay with us by subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and turning on the notification bell. Every small company helps stories about the natural world continue to be told in a slower and more authentic way. Goodbye, and we hope to see you in the next videos.